Let's take another look at some of these drafting aids. I've turned on a grid here. I've got a major grid and a minor grid, so if I wanted to put a circle in, I could do so very easily by circle, center, radius, latch on to that point, which happens to be 0, 0, and if I pull a circle out in that way, you can see I can click onto major and minor grid points. So the circle's in. Let's get rid of the grid with the F7 key, and with the F9 key we'll turn snap off, and we'll just pan up a little. What I want to show you in this little movie is the use of grips. If we come to object snap, if we turn grips on and put on our object snap flyover, grips are really very useful. I'll OK that. Imagine that I wanted to draw a line from the quadrant of that circle. Now that grips are on, I can find that quadrant easily. You can't find the quadrant using any other of the myriad of drafting aids e-snaps that are there. Here's the object snap. You notice here you haven't got a quadrant option, which you do have in some other pieces of software. So grips is rather useful, so I've left it on, and we'll OK it. Suppose, for the sake of argument, I now want to draw a line from the midpoint. See, with grips on I can find the midpoint there, and if I had tracking on now, and I could double click tracking there and come up here, and there's a line running out. Let's take tracking off. So I've been able to pick up the midpoint and go out there. Let's imagine, for the sake of argument, I wanted, for some peculiar reason, to bring a line from here down to the midpoint there. I can still find it, so I can start outside and snap to things. Let's draw a couple of lines over here, sort of crisscrossing around and over one another. If I wanted to draw a line from here perpendicular to that line, can you see I can't in fact do that? I can find a midpoint or end point or center of circle, quadrant of circle, but I can't find the center of the circle, nor can I find a line perpendicular to that line through there. In that case, I have to override our grips, so I need to put on perp or perpendicular. Now come near that line and I can draw my line perpendicular. Now perpendicular stays on, so I'd come over here and turn, what do we want, grip back on, because grip is perhaps the most versatile. It will take you a little while to experiment with all these. They're all rather silly lines. Now we have a shape here that we can play with, which might be useful in a landscape setting. So do play with those grips and get confidence with them.